over the last 3 years. You came in at a very difficult time after some very contentious times, and you put that to sleep. However, this week, I read in the Westchester section of the New York Times about issues again with middle schoolers here in Westchester. And I read in the Lewisboro Ledger about bullying going on in the schools. Hardly a surprise to anyone who has children here. And it brings me back about a year and a half ago to an article in the Westchester section where the Briarcliff School District is taking time out of its academic agenda to teach their children about the stage of life they're going through and the issues that they're facing, to help them deal with it. And it's something I mentioned to Peter Breslin and to Alice Cronin. And this is an area where we need to rethink. We're asking our middle school teachers to do an awfully tough job, and we need to help them do it. I also was talking this week to a friend of mine who teaches in South Jersey, where every teacher in the middle school and high school is now required to teach reading as part of their curriculum. And since that's an area where I think we have a particular weakness in preparing our kids for college, another thing I wanted to say to this board is, although you went through contentious times and had to spend a lot more time dealing with the business office and things, there's no excuse for spending any 3-year period and putting education issues aside. You always have to find time for them. Maybe not as much time as you'd like to, but you have to find more time for them. I think this board needs to seize control of the agenda of the school district. Briarcliff and South Jersey represent ways to improve our education without going outside the resources already within our buildings, without any additional costs if done properly. The issues facing us are college preparedness. I have 2 children in college who say they were not as well prepared as their contemporaries from comparable schools in English and vocabulary.
30 seconds.
What?
30 seconds.
That's 2.5 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, Ken.
Okay. I also want to talk about this board recently hired a colleague of Dr. Raleigh's to take a position here, and there's nothing wrong with that. But anytime someone who's a friend of the superintendent's is picked, there's extra due diligence that has to be done. And the president and the vice president of this board told me that due diligence was not done. Extra interviews, just to make sure that nothing was awry. Someone's got to mind the store in this district, and we don't seem to have learned from the problems of a couple years ago. Since I'm running short, the last item is, I think in this tough year, you need to throw more money back to the people. The $360,000 for the language teachers and another $500,000 of the surplus needs to go back to the people in a year that's this bad in the economy.
Thank you, Ken.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. My name's Janet Harcum. I am a Katona resident. I have a child in the 4th grade and in the 7th grade. I am running for a seat on the Board of Education, Katona Lewisboro School District. Everyone that I've been talking to has been saying to me, why do you want to do this? It's so much work. I've really never been afraid of hard work. I like hard work. If you look at my quote-unquote resume, I've been on 110 million committees and continue to serve on different committees. I'm a firm believer in service. I enjoy service. I like people. I like to affect change. And for instance, the strategic planning action team on curriculum, that's a mouthful, was a great experience because a lot of the initiatives that are being implemented now were vetted through Karen Benedict and Dr. Lichtenfeld at the time in 2006, and a lot of them are rolling in now, and those initiatives were essentially hashed out in the curriculum planning process. It's really gratifying to see some of those things actually start to take shape. Another example is the compact teams. I'm on the Increase Miller compact team and John Jay Middle School compact team. And this is another perfect example for me of a collaborative process that works really well. It's administrators, it's teachers, it's support staff and parents, and working together. it's really quite amazing how much good work and good education you can get across. I also am familiar with board governance. I've probably served on, I don't know, I've served on boards for the last 20 years consecutively, pretty much. I don't know that I've really taken a break. And so board governance is something I'm familiar with and would be happy to do here. I think an important thing to remember is that we need people on the board from various segments. I would obviously be a person that was involved in the board who knows a lot about what's happening inside the schools. It's certainly an important part that is needed within the schools. By the nature of the board, I think you get separated from that pretty easily, so it's a good asset to have. What else was I going to say? Oh, I'm known well for the sustainability work that I'm interested in, but I'm also interested in education overall. It's really why I would be doing this.
30 seconds.
Okay. Essentially, I have the experience, the skill, the passion, the interest, and the time. So I would say go vote for me in the polls, and if you can, vote twice. And we'll see you. Please vote for the budget, May 20th.
Thank you.
Sorry. Hi, I'm Eve Hunt. Most of you know me. What a difference 3 years makes. We've been through some very difficult times, but I think they've made us stronger and wiser. And when I think back about the path we charted 3 years ago, it was about restoring trust, it was about better communication, it was about teamwork, a sensitivity to taxpayers, and most importantly, renewing a focus on education. And I think we've come a long way. We've hired an accomplished superintendent. We've upgraded our writing program. We've introduced foreign language at the elementary school. And despite these and other changes, including implementing 2 years of our strategic plan, we've managed to keep the budget increase below 4% for 2 years. Very proud of that work. That was very difficult work. We were able to do that because we worked very hard and we worked constructively together. Even though we're individuals and each of us has very strong and very different opinions, we respect each other and we worked together. Collaboratively, we scrutinized spending. We took a look at savings in operations and maintenance. We reorganized the administration to operate more efficiently. We green-lighted O&M audits and energy efficiency studies, just to name a few examples. We also worked hard to instill professionalism and a new sense of responsibility in our business office. And while we've gone a long way to adding more policies and procedures there, we still have more work to do. We dedicated ourselves to transparency and to responsiveness, which are critical to restoring trust. And we then enhanced our outreach and our communications to try to strengthen the bonds between the school and the community. And our challenge really is, how do we continue to advance our educational agenda wisely and affordably in a way that's acceptable to our community? We've successfully returned the focus where it belongs, on our students, and I'm grateful for that. But we need to use that focus to keep moving forward and implement the enhanced writing program, expand the foreign language opportunities and the arts opportunities, and to finally have adequate athletic facilities for our students. But how do we do that? We do that with board members who have a lot of experience, who have worked in the schools and devoted time and have experience there, and to have proven team players on the school board. I would be honored to have your support and your vote as I would continue to devote my time, energy, and skills to achieve academic excellence and the mission of our district. Thank you.
Thank you all. All right, Eve, let's try to get you back online.